Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. This is your Roma Manchester United preview. It's the Europa League semi-final second leg. It's Thursday 8 o'clock kick-off. Basically, we are into the Europa League final. It's going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first major final as Manchester United manager. Now, we beat Roma in the first leg at Old Trafford 6-2. We were sensational in the second half, but we was poor in the first half. We was trailing 2-1 at half time. Obviously, our goals came from Edison Cavani, he got 2. Bruno Fernandes got 2. And Paul Pogba and Mason Greenwood scored. Roma's goals came from Lorenzo Pellegrini from the penalty spot, and the other one came from Edin Dzeko. I wasn't expecting us to beat Roma 6-2. Roma have to win 4-0 on Thursday night to go through. Now, Paulo Fonseca has announced that he will be leaving Roma at the end of the season. And Jose Mourinho has been appointed as Roma's head coach for next season. Obviously, not so long ago, Jose Mourinho was sacked by Tottenham. Obviously, we sacked Jose Mourinho back in December 2018. Paulo Fonseca has been Roma manager since 2019. The reason he's leaving is because Roma have been in a bad vein of form. They are winless in their last 6 games, and out they're sitting like 7th in Serie A. Roma have got some injuries. Obviously, Vertoot's injured. He came off injured in the first leg. Lopez, he's injured. He came off injured in the first leg. Spinazzola, he also came off injured in the first leg. So 3 of Roma's players came off with injury at in the first leg. I think Rodriguez is also still out with injury for Roma. Yeah, they've got quite a few injuries. Obviously, Roma have got Chris Smalling. I presume he'll be in contention to play in this game, so he'll be reuniting with Manchester United again. We had Chris Smalling for like 9 or 10 years. Mkhitaryan, I presume he'll be in contention to play in this game. If he does, he'll be reuniting with Manchester United. Edin Dzeko, he's definitely one of Roma's key players. Scored quite a lot of times against Manchester United. He is a former Manchester City player. Roma have obviously got Brian Reynolds. I think they brought him in earlier on this year. And they've got that Shawi as well, who I think they brought in earlier on this year. When we played Roma in the first leg, it was the first meeting between Manchester United and Roma in 13 years. We did beat Roma in the Champions League quarter-final back in the 2006-07 season, 7-1. It's our 18th European semi-final. I think we've got a very, very good chance of winning the Europa League. Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. You know, we haven't won a trophy since 2017. Solskjaer did say the other month that winning trophies can be an ego thing. We got to the Europa League semi-finals last season. We lost 2-1 to Sevilla. We won the Europa League back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho, where we beat Ajax in the final 2-0. I'm hoping for a Man United and Arsenal Europa League final, because obviously that would be an all-English final. Arsenal are trailing to Villarreal at the moment, but I think there's a good chance that Arsenal can pull it back at the Emirates. Now, as you all know, we were supposed to play Liverpool on Sunday, but it got postponed because our fans were protesting against the Glazers, and hundreds of our fans went inside Old Trafford and invaded the pitch. Didn't they? Now, will the Old Trafford protests force the Glazers out of Manchester United? The Glazers could be forced to sell Manchester United, but only for £4 billion. More protests are planned at Old Trafford. Our next game at Old Trafford is against Leicester. We could face a points deduction following the Old Trafford protests. Gary Neville gave his perception on it, and he said the Glazers are to blame for the protests. Now, not so long ago, our fans were outside Old Trafford protesting against the Glazer family and the burn the American flag. The other week, our fans were protesting against the Glazers at Carrington, and some of our fans blocked entrances into the Carrington training ground to protest. There was holding banners up, weren't there, saying MUFC 20, 51%. We decide when you play, and Glazers out. You can understand the frustration. You know, the Glazers have put the club in a lot of debt. Solskjaer did actually say that the Glazer family will not sell Manchester United not so long ago, and before that it's all protesters that Joe Glazer loves the club. But the Glazers have come out and said that they've got no intentions of selling Manchester United, so reflects on that, they're here to stay. Not so long ago, the Glazers apologised over the European Super League plans. The Red Knights not so long ago told the Glazers to sell Manchester United. The Glazers spent 500 million to buy the club back in 2005. The Glazers have been with us now for 16 years. And if we do get the Glazers out, I think it will be the right decision by Manchester United, because I hate the way the football club has been run now for a long time. So we need to recommend new owners in. I presume the Man United-Liverpool game will be on the 15th or the 16th of March. It will get rearranged. But it is very, very infuriating that the game ended up getting postponed. Now, on my next video, by the way, I'll be giving you my starting 11 prediction for this game against Roma. Now, I just want to delve into some news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. So, apparently, Chelsea have entered the race for Jadon Sancho. Borussia Dortmund recently lowered their asking price for Sancho. They will accept between £74 to £78 million. Borussia Dortmund recently confirmed that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Jadon Sancho over a possible transfer. He says that we are confident we can get Sancho on the cheap, and we've talked with his representatives over the potential move. Now, earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund admitted that they could sell Jadon Sancho for the right price this summer, and Borussia Dortmund's CEO came out and revealed that the club will discuss exceptional offers for the winner. Earlier on this season, it said that we was preparing to put a £50 million bid in for Sancho. Before that, it said that we paused our transfer pursuit of Sancho due to the progress of Mason Greenwood. Now, don't forget, last summer, he was our number one priority target. But the main explanation we didn't get him is because we was reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's 108 million valuation. But Sancho at Man United last summer was extremely close. You know, the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and even a contract had been agreed. But Dortmund made it clear to us last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We obviously missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. And Fabrizio Romano, who is a very reliable Italian journalist and close to Man United, he's spoken a lot about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga, and so too has Bild's Christian Falk. Dortmund are planning to sell Sancho anyway, so they have a greater chance of keeping Erling Haaland. This has been Jadon Sancho's 4th season at Dortmund. Analysing the vast majority of his career, he's been very, very consistent. You know, he's under contract with Dortmund till 2023. Dortmund paid just £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. Now, you obviously know the news regarding Pau Torres from Villarreal. It recently said that Man United are aiming to complete the signing of Pau Torres before the European Championship begins. And it said Man United were in advanced talks to sign Pau Torres. So we're very, very interested. Pau Torres' release clause is around 43.4 million. And Villarreal want us to meet his release clause. His release clause increases to just over 56 million in the final 15 days of the summer transfer window. Earlier on this season, it said that Pau Torres was very interested in coming to Man United. And Real Madrid's president Florentino Perez was infuriated with Man United for entering the race because actually Real Madrid were emerged as the favourites to get him. Do you think Pau Torres would go well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line? Well, he hasn't played in the Premier League as yet, but I think his performances for Villarreal have been very, very good, and he's been at Villarreal a long time now. You know, he came up their youth academy, been in their senior squad for a while, got a contract with Villarreal until 2024. Don't forget he did have a loan spell with Malaga. Been quite a lot of centre-halves on our agenda. It did say a few weeks ago that Solskjaer had drawn up a 6-man centre-back shortlist. But you know what? We might not even get a centre-half. Because not so long ago, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There is also an option of a further year. Obviously, you know the news regarding Jules Koundé from Sevilla. He said not so long ago that Real Madrid had entered the race for Jules Koundé. Man United and Chelsea are also interested. He said Sevilla will accept around £52 million. Jules Koundé's release clause is around £78 million. Earlier on this season, it said that Sevilla were demanding around £68 million for Jules Koundé, but we was reluctant to pay that. But before, he said that we was prepared to pay around £61 million for the player. Jules Koundé's performances this season for Sevilla have been outstanding. You know, he's been at Sevilla almost 2 years. Got a contract with them till 2024, and Sevilla paid just £22 million for him from Bordeaux in the summer of 2019. So yeah, there's a lot of players that Manchester United are looking at. I'm expecting us to do very, very good business in the summer transfer window. You know, I'm expecting us to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window, and I've already identified the areas in the squad where I think we need to strengthen up. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer did warn that we may not do business as usual due to the pandemic, but he said he's interested in bringing in players that will be a perfect fit for the club. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big the summer transfer window is going to be for himself and Manchester United in general. I can assure Solskjaer will be Man United manager in the summer transfer window, and he will be Man United manager next season, because it's already been confirmed that he will not be sacked even if we fail to win the Europa League. Solskjaer obviously wants good backing in the summer transfer window, and you know what, I'm expecting him to get the backing he deserves, because obviously we've got John Murtough, he's our director of football, and it was the right decision by the club getting a director of football in. We got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director, and we've also got Matt Judge. Matt Judge has been part of the club for a while. I just don't think Solskjaer's been backed enough yet. Don't forget, Ed Woodward did say earlier on this season that I believe Solskjaer is the right man to lead the club forward. And he released a statement regarding Solskjaer and the players, and he said the progress by Solskjaer and the players this season is clear. And even when we was enduring them very bad periods under Ole, you know, when he was close to being sacked, Woodward come out and showed his support for Ole several times. Now, obviously, you already know the news regarding Woodward. It got announced the other week that Ed Woodward resigned as Manchester United Vice Chairman. He will stand down at the end of the year. I presume all United fans were delighted with the news regarding Woodward, because we've been very critical of him for a long time. Main explanations is reflecting how poor our recruitment's been. Woodward hasn't backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson retired, and we've also overpaid for players. And I just don't like his overall footballing decisions, simple as that. Ed Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. He said the other week that Ed Woodward will get to choose Manchester United's next chief executive. Says there could be 5 candidates we could look at. It actually said Edwin van der Sar is the favourite to replace Ed Woodward. You know. I'm expecting quite a few players to leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window. Like I said, good chance that De Gea's going to go. We're obviously planning to sell De Gea in order to keep Paul Pogba. Sergio Romero, I'm also expecting us to offload him. Phil Jones, get rid of him. Get rid of Tuanzebe. Get rid of Delors permanently. I wanted to offload Matic as well. I think there's a good chance we will. I'd get rid of Van der Beek because he's not getting enough opportunities at Manchester United, but it's recently said we will reject any offers for Donny Van der Beek this summer because Solskjaer's got big plans for him. I'd sell Juan Mata definitely because he doesn't get in R11, and plus I have my element of concerns about Juan Mata now. And we need to offload Anthony Martial because he's no longer good enough to represent the club. Alex Telles, he's another one. I think we should offload him because, not because he's bad, it's just that he hasn't played nowhere near as much as I expected. And when we got Telles last summer, I expected him to be our first choice left back immediately, but obviously it didn't happen. So the players we sell in the summer transfer window will obviously generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. Our next league game is Aston Villa at the weekend. It's a game Manchester United should be winning. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he is our best manager since Ferguson. There's a lot of positives regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, he has made good signings as Manchester United manager. He's spent almost £300 million. You know, the players he's brought in, he's Daniel James, he brought Anwan Bissaka in, he brought Harry Maguire in, also brought Bruno Fernandes in, and he brought Odion Ighalo in on loan. Ighalo obviously left in January. He also brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Mad Diallo Traore and Facundo Pellistri. We loaned Facundo Pellistri out though in January. Solskjaer's brought quite a few young players in, and you know what? I like the way he has promoted the youth because he's given a lot of young players their opportunities. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. You know, obviously, he got rid of a few players in January. Obviously, we saw Timothy Fosu-Mensah leave the club. We saw Darmian leave the club. No, sorry, that wasn't in January, was it? No, it was Fosu-Mensah in January. We let Teden Menga go out on loan in January. We let Ighalo go in January. We loaned Facundo Pellistri out in January. And we also loaned Jesse Lingard out. That's it. But yeah, in the other transfer windows he's enjoyed, yeah, we let Darmian go. You know, let Smalling go. Let Young and Valencia go. Let Fellaini go. Let Herrera go, didn't we? Let Sanchez go. Let Lukaku go. Let Angel Gomez go. We loaned Tahith Chon out, didn't we? We loaned James Garner out. Loaned Dylan Levitt out. Loaned Diego Dalot out. I think we loaned Joe Pereira out again for another season. I think we also loaned Dishan Bernard out as well. Solskjaer's done well in quite a lot of aspects this season. You know, looks like he's got us to the Europa League final, got us to the FA Cup quarter final this season, got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. We've enjoyed very good periods as well under Ollie, where we have seen consistency. We're enjoying a good period at the moment because we are unbeaten in our last 7 games in all competitions. Got a very good away record in the Premier League as well. You know, we haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. We are unbeaten in our last 24 Premier League away games. That's very, very impressive. You know, we're second in the Premier League. I can almost assure we'll finish second now. Solskjaer did well though last season, his first full season. You know, he got us to 3 semi-finals, he got us a 3rd place finish last season, and he got us qualification for the Champions League. And Solskjaer's beaten quite a few big name managers as Manchester United manager. We haven't been that good though, have we, against the top 6 sides this season. So they are the positives regarding Ollie. But as you all know, I do have my concerns about him as well. You know, Ollie hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. You know, that is a concern. That doesn't mean he can't succeed as Man United manager. And his decision making also concerns me. Because in a lot of his games at Man United, he has been tactically naive. But there's also been some games as well where he has showed tactical flexibility. But he's got to do that persistently. But Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager over 2 years now. So he's learned quite a bit on the job, hasn't he? And he's gained some managerial experience, which is good. Earlier on this season, it said that Solskjaer agreed a new 3-year contract worth 30 million. I think Solskjaer's just got under a year left on his current 3-year contract. But he's not the long-term manager for Man United, but I hope I'm proven wrong. But he does deserve at least another season. Obviously, a lot of United fans have criticised Solskjaer. Obviously, they don't believe he's the right manager for Man United. So there's been a lot of United fans demanding him out. They've got reasons why they've been demanding him out. But I still presume there's a lot of United fans that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in, and they believe that he needs more time at the club. You know, the main explanation is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he wouldn't have been Man United manager now. Because you can turn around and say Solskjaer was looking not to be sacked, you know, when was enduring them really, really bad periods under him. You know, we appointed Solskjaer in December 2018, didn't we? And he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. The reason we gave him the job permanently 2 years ago is because he did very, very well, didn't he, as the interim manager. You know, don't forget Solskjaer is inheriting players from other managerial eras as well. Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. The 3 managers we've sat since Ferguson was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. But in the last 8 years, Man United have been playing catch up and nothing's really changed, you know, despite us, you know, sacking managers and despite us overpaying for players and despite us spending over £1 billion in the last 8 years on players. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, that's 8 years ago now. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Doing another video later. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.